like 3 videos being uploaded to my page. So, but because the phone, this is a crappy little network I got, it's gonna be a minute for those videos come up. Probably later on today. But I do have about 3 videos that I am uploading to this phone that's in motion now. Just, was, just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, the name of this topic is entitled "A Self-Sustaining Kingdom," man. All right, the name of this live stream. All right, because in Babylon, you've been perceived to have liberty in this society. All right, and I'm talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. But the only reason why they can even live that out because being cushioned and you have a safety net, all right, for your careless decision making. All right, the Most High didn't give us these laws in our homeland Jerusalem just because he was a strict parent. I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. For one, it's to distinguish us from the damn Canaanites, from those heathens, all right, which ultimately made us civilized amongst them, all right. But also, those are systems that allow you to self-sustain. One thing that I've developed a little interest in, all right, is the concept of self-sustaining, all right. So if something like if you look at the ocean, all right, the ecosystem within the ocean, it's a self-sustaining system. All right, there's no filter, there's no man-made filter in the ocean. All right, so but what happens? The Most High has a system in which, all right, animals die or fish die. All right, fish die. Then you have other species of fish that they consume those dead fish. They consume um plants and they consume just all type of matter in the ocean. All right, and in turn, it's the ocean self sustains itself. You see, fish have fish waste, but there are fish to eat that. All right, like I said, there are fish to eat on carcasses underwater. All right, but all in all, it's a self sustaining system. If you look on the planet Earth on the land, all right, you have an animal that dies, but the animal that dies becomes nutrients for the decomposers. All right, it becomes food for what do you call scavengers. All right, animals defecate, but that feces is fertilizer for the soil, and the soil grows the grass and the plants and the herbs, and in turn that creates a food source for the animals. So it's a circle, the circle of life. Right? It's a self-sustaining system. It doesn't need man. All right, especially in the time of Adam. All right, it doesn't need you know who, your boy running the earth. All right, but the earth still has to be managed because of people on it, right? You still have to manage the earth. You have to coexist with the earth. That's another thing. The people who run the world, they don't coexist with the earth. They don't know how to exist and respect the planet Earth. All right, they don't know how to only use what they need. All right, our brother Gad, all right, when he used that buffalo, they used every part of that damn buffalo, man, to the T. All right, whether it's the bones for this and made tools out of bones, made clothing out of the what do you call it, the fur for lack of words. Or of course the meat was this that it was the meat source was the food source. They made tents out of the skin. Okay, that's coexisting with the earth and utilizing the planet Earth, man. All right, and they weren't a liability to the planet Earth. They made themselves an asset. All right, to the planet Earth. They coexisted with it. But the people who run the Earth, they don't know how to. They refuse to coexist with the Earth. All right. Yeah, like how Gad is all careful about the maintenance of the earth. That's the nature of an Israelite, man. All right. But furthermore, you look at the wickedness of our people, and they think that they're under something called liberty, but you can only do that in America or in the Western world. The way you know your culture is efficient is if it doesn't need another culture or another nation to feed it, to sustain it. That's why it tells you in the book of Sirach, it's better to live in a mean cottage than to live in basically a rich man's house. Because America's a rich man's house, it's not your rest. It tells you in the scriptures, all right, it's not your rest. And I'm gonna get these scriptures that the brother got, man. All right, that's right, brother. The earth needs new management. All right. Sirach 39:21, one of my favorite scriptures. A man need not to say, what is this, wherefore is that, for he have made all things for their uses. All right, who is he? Yahweh. So all things have their uses, but in the grand scheme of things, all those things come together to create a system in which the planet Earth is able to self-sustain itself. Is able to sustain itself, man, without an external source. All right, the only external source is Yahweh Bashem Shai. Sirach 38:4. Yahweh have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Now, how do you think Gad learned a lot of medicines? Through watching the animals. They watched what the animals resorted to when they got sick. All right, that's part of the earth, and you have to nurture. You have to nurture your livelihood. You have to nurture, or you have to have care for your livelihood. The earth is your livelihood. That's where you go for food. That's where you go for herbs. That's where you go for shelter, because the trees are wood. That's where you go for water. So you have to be ultra careful with the planet Earth. All right. But then the Most High gave us he put in his work that he's proud of, for lack of better words, is people, namely the nation of Israel. Let me crank this car back up. It's warm. Although it's November, it's warm down south. But the Most High put people on this earth. But then he carved out a certain group of people for himself. He hollowed a certain people for himself. And then people later became known as the nation of Israel, the Israel of Yahweh. All right. He gave those people institutions. He gave those people laws. All right. To not only keep them in one breath, he gave them laws to keep them in alliance with him. He set up a priesthood and everything to keep them hollowed out to him. All right. But the other purpose of the laws was that we can self-sustain. The Most High always had a sovereign mentality with his people. All right. And that was to get us out of other captivities. You know, I'm going to get you out of Egypt. Even though a lot of our people were doing well in Egypt, they had establishments in Egypt. All right. But the Most High's mindset was, no, I want you in a sovereign situation. I want you in your own land. All right. See how people lost that mindset. Not only should you have a ruling class mentality, but you should have a sovereign mentality, meaning that I don't depend on another nation for my survival. All right, that's what even Egypt was about, man. In part, you know, we were groomed in Egypt, but we left Egypt. You see, all right, because that was not our rest. But there's a reason why these laws are put in place, so you can self-sustain as a nation. All right, that's why there's laws on agriculture, and then the laws on agriculture going to Leviticus the 25th chapter. It was a system in which all Israelites had a chance to rent out the earth to feed their people, to rent out the earth, really to get wealthy. All right. That's why the leasing of the land was rotated around the year of Jubilee. All right. But you was able to lease out land, basically grow your own crops. All right. So you could build your own sustenance, man. So not only do we have laws to self-sustain, we have laws that allow everybody to have wealth, where everybody in a nation can have some type of sustenance, man, sustenance. All right. Furthermore, all right, you have laws that couple people together, man, woman, children. All right. That's why it was such a shame for a woman to be barren. All right, because how can your nation uh reproduce itself, all right, if women can't bear offspring? Now, fast forward to 2022, the average so-called black woman is having a freaking abortion, man. All right, going back to, there's a law saying in Leviticus that you can't hate your brother in your heart. Fast forward 2022, that every other rap song is about killing your own kind or shit on your own brother, man. Nobody else but your own brother. All right, because the beginning of murder is hatred, is resentment. Okay. So these laws were set up so we can self-sustain and reproduce ourselves. That's why we're in a state of death, because the deception is that you're still alive. But the only reason why you're still alive, ultimately, is the Most High. But on the left-hand side, you're being nourished through another man's society. But you can't possibly take these same mindsets that you develop in America, all right, and get it your own plot of land as a collective, as a nation of people, all right, and sustain. You're going to find out there's no such thing as a real nigga. There's no such thing as an alpha female. There's no such thing as an independent woman. All right. What else? There's no such thing as them badass kids her baby daddy sorry. Not being sorry get you put the fucking death. Because then now you're putting a burden on the whole nation. All right? Everybody got to take up your share of the work. So it's certain things that won't even exist outside this damn plantation, man. Outside this grid, outside this matrix. But we've been in America so long, nourished in America so long, we don't understand the proper cultural tools that have to be put in place for us to exist as the people, man. All right, but that's a pretty short live stream. I had complications, getting the live to go, to go live. I gotta go back in though. But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. So like if I didn't get your scriptures, all right. I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Yeah, that's right, brother. It's beneficial in a righteous rule. All right. But to the next time, Shalom.